Good day, ma'am and everyone. My name is Angela Valacchio and today I'm going to discuss about the adjective clause. An adjective clause is a type of subordinate clause that modify a noun or pronoun. An adjective clause may begin with relative pronoun who, whom, whose, that, which, where, or when. It normally follows the word it modifies. Examples: movies that have highly challenging plots are my favorite. The store where I buy sells best items. Several book authors whom I admire contribute to a pool of literary works. Movies that have highly challenging plots are my favorite. Here, the adjective clause is that have highly challenging plots. It's modifying the noun movies, giving us more information about what kind of movies the speaker likes. And the second sentence, where I buy, is the adjective clause. It's modifying the store, telling us more about the particular store. However, the sentence seems a bit incomplete. A more correct version could be the store where I buy my clothes sells the best items. And last, several book authors whom I admire contribute to a pool of literary works. Here, whom I admire is the adjective clause. It's modifying several book authors. Providing more details about the authors, the speaker is saying that they admire these authors and these authors contribute to a pool of literary works. Take note that in the first sentence above, the word movies is modified by the clause that have highly challenging plots, while the store is modified by the clause where I buy. Sometimes relative pronouns and adjective clause are dropped from the beginning. Consider the examples below. The sequel, The Twilight Saga, is the movie that I like best. The sequel, The Twilight Saga, is the movie I like best. Some adjective clauses are necessary to make the meaning of the sentence clear. These adjective clauses are called essential clause or restrictive clause. Restrictive adjectives clause must not be set off with commas. Examples: movies that have no substance bore me. The authors whom I like began writing during the Renaissance period. Essential or restrictive adjective clauses are crucial to the meaning of the sentence. They provide key information about the noun or pronoun they are modifying, and without them, the sentence meaning would change or be unclear. For example, in the sentence, movies that have no substance bore me. The clause that have no substance is essential. Without it, we wouldn't know which movies bore the speaker. And then, next. Similarly, in the authors whom I like began writing during the Renaissance period, the clause whom I like is essential. Without it, we wouldn't know what the author's speaker is referring to. Where movies that have no substance bore me, that have no substance adjective clause restricted. The authors whom I like began writing during the Renaissance period. Whom I like adjective clause restricted. Compare movies that have no substance bore me versus movies bore me. In the first sentence, the speaker is specific about the type of movies that bore them. Movies that lack substance, the adjective clause that have no substance, provides crucial information about the speaker's movies preferences. In the second sentence, movies bore me. The speaker is making a general statement about all movies. Without the adjective clause, we lost the specificity and it sounds like the speaker finds all movies boring, not just the ones lacking substance. The authors whom I like began writing during Renaissance period versus the authors began writing during the Renaissance period. In the first sentence, the speaker is talking about a specific group of authors, the ones they like. The adjective clause whom I like gives us information about which authors the speaker is referring to. In the second sentence, the authors began writing during Renaissance period. Without the adjective clause, it sounds like the speaker is talking about all authors, not just ones they like. The specificity about the author's identity is lost. In both sentences, the adjective clauses are essential since they specify the nouns they modify, such as the only those movies that have no substance bore the speaker, not all movies in the same manner that only those authors that the speaker like, not all the authors. While there are adjective clauses that cannot be omitted a sentence, there are also adjective clauses that are not necessary make the meaning of the sentence clear, even though they may information to the sentence. These clauses are non-essential clauses. Of unrestricted clauses, commas are always needed to set non-essential clauses. For example, in James Cameron, who is a director, made good movies. The clause, who is a director, is non-essential. Even if you remove it, the sentence still makes sense. James Cameron made good movies. The clause just provides extra information about James Cameron. And his work, which include the Titanic, were blockbuster films. The clause, which include the Titanic, is non-essential. Without it, the sentence still makes sense. His work were blockbuster films. The clause just gives additional information about his works. Where movies that have highly challenging plots are my favorite. Movies, main clause subject, that have highly challenging plots, adjective clause, are my favorite, main clause predicate. The store where I buy sells best items. The store, main clause subject, where I buy, adjective clause, sell best items, main clause subject. So now let's proceed to adverb clause. When the adjective clauses are omitted as shown in both sentences above, the meaning stays. In the first sentence, the focus James Cameron making good movies, not him being named as a director. Thus, when the adjective clause is taken out, the meaning stays the same. Similarly, in the second sentence, the Titanic is only one of the films that became a blockbuster. If the clause which included Titanic is set off, the meaning remains as his work were blockbuster films. It is important to note that when using between that and which to introduce an adjective clause, use that to begin an essential clause and use which to begin a non-essential clause. An adverb clause is a dependent clause that modifies a verb, an adjective, or an adverb. It tells when, where, how, why, to what extent, or under what conditions. An adverb clause begins with subordinating conjunctions. In the first example above, the adverb clause answers question why and functions as a modifier of the adjective happy. Similarly, in the second example sentence, the adverb clause answers the question. Adverb clauses can come at the beginning of the sentence, at the middle, or at the end. When it comes before the main clause, it has to be separated with a comma. Examples. Before you get too close to people, you have to know them first. In this sentence, the adverb clause before you get too close to people comes before the main clause, you have to know them first. The comma separates the adverb clause from the main clause. Second, although you come with an excuse, it doesn't mean you are. Here, the adverb clause, although you come with an excuse, comes before the main clause, it doesn't mean you are. The comma is used to separate the two clauses. Third, before we can travel, we save money first. In this sentence, the adverb clause, before we can travel, precedes the main clause. We save money first. The comma is used to indicate the separation between the adverb clause and the main clause. Fourth, because I passed the test, I was satisfied. Here, the adverb clause, because I passed the test, comes before the main clause, I was satisfied. The comma is used to separate the two clauses. And lastly, before you say something, think first. In this sentence, the adverb clause, before you say something, comes before the main clause, think first. The comma is used to separate the adverb clause from the main clause. By using commas to separate adverb clauses at the beginning of the sentence, we can make sentence structure clear and help the reader understand and relationships between the clauses. When adverb clauses are placed at the middle, they interrupt the main thought. Thus, an adverb clause at the middle should be offset with commas to fully make sense. Examples. First, my friend when she is sleeping snores a lot. In this sentence, the adverb clause when she is sleeping is placed in the middle and interrupts the main thought. The commas before and after the adverb clause help to set it off from the rest of the sentence. Second, he decided after he thinks thoroughly to let go. Here, the adverb clause after he thinks thoroughly is placed in the middle and interrupts the main thought. The commas before and after the adverb clause indicate the interruption. Third, Jenna, when she is upset, is silent the whole day. In this sentence, the adverb clause, when she is upset, is placed in the middle and interrupts the main thought. The commas before and after the adverb clause helps to separate it from the rest of the sentence. And fourth, ants, although they are small, could leave big bites. Here, the adverb clause, although they are small, is placed in the middle and interrupts the main thought. The commas before and after the adverb clause indicate the interruption. And lastly, fifth, Carlos, because he was exhausted, rested the whole day. In this sentence, the adverb clause, because he was exhausted, is placed in the middle and interrupts the main thought. The commas before and after the adverb clause help to set off from the rest of the sentence. On the other hand, when adverb clauses are placed at the end of a sentence, they do not require any additional punctuation. They naturally flow with the sentence and do not interrupt the main thought. Examples. First, they studied 4 hours before they took the test. In this sentence, the adverb clause before they took the test indicates the time when the studying took place. Second, I never knew that I could love so much until I met you. Here, the adverb clause until I met you expresses the time when the speaker realized their capacity for love. Third, there is always a rainbow after the rain. In this sentence, the adverb clause after the rain indicates the time when the rainbow appears. Fourth, we can be friends as long as you want. Here, the adverb clause as long as you want expresses the condition under which the speaker and the listener can be friends. And lastly, we can never be friends unless you know me better. In this sentence, the adverb clause unless you know me better expresses the condition that needs to be fulfilled for the speakers and the listeners to be friends. Adverb clauses provide additional information and context to the main clause, enhancing the meaning of the sentence and adding depth to the overall message. They help us convey reasons, conditions, contrast, time, and place in a more precise and nuanced manner. Examples for adverb clause of reasons. First, she dances well, so I want her in our theme. In this sentence, the adverb clause, so I want her in our theme, explains the reason behind the speaker's desire to have her on their team. Second, she was unable to perform as she had injuries. Here, the adverb clause, as she had injuries, provides the reasons for her inability to perform. Third, because she practiced the whole day, she was exhausted at night. In this sentence, the adverb clause, because she practiced the whole day, explains the reason for her exhaustion at night. Fourth, since you are the leader, you have to act like one. Here, the adverb clause, since you are the leader, indicates the reason why a person is expected to behave or act as a leader. Adverb clauses of reason help us understand certain actions, events, or conditions. They provide valuable context and help clarify the relationship between different parts of the sentence. Adverb clauses of condition. Unless the travel costs too much, we will push through the plan. In this sentence, the adverb clause, unless the travel costs too much, sets the condition under which the speaker and others will proceed with the plan. Second, they will go out if the rain stops. Here, the adverb clause if the rain stops establishes the conditions that needs to be met for them to go out. Third, you will improve if you practice. In this sentence, the adverb clause if you practice presents the condition that, if fulfilled, will lead to improvement. Fourth, unless you train hard, you won't win. Here, the adverb clause, unless you train hard, states the conditions that needs to be satisfied in order to achieve victory. Fifth, even if you try, it won't matter. In this sentence, the adverb clause, even if you try, introduces hypothetical condition and emphasizes that it wouldn't have any significance or impact. Adverb clauses of condition help us understand the circumstances or requirements that must be met for a particular outcome to occur. They express the relationships between the condition and the result in the sentence. Classes of contrast. First, leaders lead while bosses intimidate. In this sentence, the adverb clause, while bosses intimidate, highlights the contrast between the actions of leaders and bosses. Second, she gets the job although she does not deserve it. Here, the adverb clause, although she does not deserve it, present a contrast between the fact that she gets the job despite not deserving it. Third, even though he is tall, he was not very appealing. In this sentence, the adverb clause, even though he is tall, establishes a contrast between his height and his level of appealing. Fourth, while he was upset, she was celebrating. Here, the adverb clause, while he was upset, sets up a contrast between his emotional states and her states of celebration. Adverb clauses of contrast help us express differences of contradictions between two ideas or situations. They emphasize the disparity of opposing nature of the elements being compared. Examples for adverb clause of time. First, during his term, the president made a lot of changes. In this sentence, the adverb clause during his term specifies the time period when the president made a lot of changes. Second, he made a lot of promises when he was campaigning. Here, the adverb clause when he was campaigning indicates the time when he made a lot of promises. Third, we will leave as soon as she arrives. In this sentence, the adverb clause as soon as she arrives denotes the specific time when the speaker and the others will leave. Fourth, I will be watching over you before I need to leave. Here, the adverb clause before I need to leave indicates the time period when the speaker will be watching over the other person. Adverb clauses of time help us specify the time-related circumstances or conditions in a sentence. Examples for adverb clause of place. First, wherever I go, I am with you. In this sentence, the adverb clause wherever I go indicates the place or location, emphasizing that the speaker is always with the other person regardless or where they go. Second, actresses are recognized wherever they may be in the country. Here, the adverb clause wherever they may be in the country highlights that actresses are recognized regardless of their location within the country. Adverb clause of place indicate the location or position of an action or event. They provide additional details to enhance the context and meaning of the sentence. So now let's proceed to noun clause. A noun clause is a subordinate clause that is used as a noun within the main clause of the sentence. Noun clause can be used as a subject, a direct or indirect object, and complements. Examples of noun clause as a subject. First, whoever wins the election will get the seat. In this sentence, the noun clause Whoever wins the election serve as the subject of the sentence. Second, what I like is a relaxing massage. Here, the noun clause what I like functions as the subject of the sentence. Third, what makes me laugh is a good joke. In this sentence, the noun clause what makes me laugh serves as the subject of the sentence. Fourth, that she likes chocolate is obvious. In this example, the noun clause that she likes chocolate act as the subject of the sentence. Examples of noun clause as an object. First, you can see that she likes chocolate. Here, the noun clause that she likes chocolates functions as the direct object of the sentence. Second, some actors will do whatever it takes to get noticed. In this sentence, the noun clause whatever it takes serves as the direct object. Third, I don't get why you consider that amusing. Here, the noun clause why you consider that amusing functions as the direct object of the sentence. Fourth, the politicians will give in to whoever asks for an interview. In this example, the noun clause whoever asks for an interview acts as the direct object of the sentence. Noun clauses add substance and act as the core element in the sentence, playing various roles to convey meaning. They function just like nouns, taking on different grammatical functions within a sentence. Examples of noun clause as complements. First, it is obvious that laughter involves emotions. In this sentence, the noun clause that laughter involves emotion acts as the complements of the verb. It completes the meaning of the sentence by providing information about what is of use. Second, that is why we included you in the list. Here, the noun clause why we included you in the list serves as the complement of the verb is. It explains the reason or justification for including the person in the list. Third, I believe that people change in time. In this example, the noun clause that people change in time acts as the complements of the verb believed. It completes the meaning of the sentence by expressing the belief or opinion about people changing over time. Noun clauses as complements helps provide additional information, clarifying meaning, or express the speaker's belief or opinion. They function as an essential part of the sentence structure to complete the verb or linking verb. And that would be all for our report about phrases and clauses.